All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kevin Vincent, and I am the senior contributing editor to Mining Life and Exploration News. Northern Ontario's, in fact, Ontario's premier mining magazine. We've been in this space now for close to 30 years. And of course, we are a sister company of Vertex, the global virtual conferencing system that our proprietary system that we have put together specifically for the mining industry. And this is our coming out party, if you will, our first big online virtual event. It's been going flawlessly. We're having just a tremendous couple of days here, chatting with some of the most impressive people in the mining space that have their fingerprints, if you will, on the Abitibi Greenstone Belt. And welcome to the Mining the Abitibi Virtual Global Conference. And this special event has been made possible by a number of great companies, including Mappy, Lakeshore Gold, Kirkland Lake Gold, Newmont Porcupine, Côté Gold, which you're going to hear about in just a moment, Canada Nickel and G4 Drilling. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our seventh speaker of the day, Mike Garbutt of Côté Gold, which is the exciting new billion-dollar gold mine. We like to say just south of Timmins and north of Toronto, if we can put it that way. So, Mike, the floor is yours. Looking forward to a great presentation this afternoon about this very, very exciting project. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Kevin, and hopefully we can keep that flawless streak going without any problems here. So thanks everyone today for joining me for this presentation. But before we get started, I would like to recognize that Côté Gold is located in the traditional territory of the Matagami First Nation and Flying Post First Nation. Cautionary statement on this presentation, you could hear some forward-looking statements. So I want to make you aware of that in terms of the cautions around forward-looking statements. So since IAM Gold is relatively new to Northern Ontario, I'll give you a brief introduction here. So IAM Gold is a Canadian-based mid-tier mining company with 3 gold operations on 3 continents. The first of which, Essakane, is in Burkina Faso, Rosabelle is in Suriname, and then the Westwood mine up in the Abitibi or the Rouen region in Quebec. Westwood mine in the Abitibi region. Our development projects include, of course, Côté Gold in Ontario, the Boto project in Senegal, and as well we have a number of greenfield, brownfield exploration projects in various countries located in West Africa and as well in the Americas. The company has a strong culture of accountable mining and high standards of environmental and social governance practices across all work areas we operate. Our commitment is to zero harm in every aspect of our business. This certainly has been our guide and vision over the last dozen years. And right now, the company-wide, we employ about 5,000 people total. So next, Côté Gold, just a quick overview. So as you may well be aware by now, IAM Gold, along with our joint venture partner, Sumitomo Mining, is in the process of building this new mine here in Northern Ontario. So we'll cover a few key metrics about the project. So obviously it'll be an open pit mine, traditional truck shovel mine. The entire site will produce about 367,000 ounces on average per year. In the first 6 years, of course, it'll be a little higher. We'll see, as you can see in the bottom, we'll see an average of about 469,000 ounces on an annual basis. Mill capacity is going to be 13.1 million tons per year. The maximum mine output is going to be 70 million tons per year, so we'll have a bit of a stockpile. And the operating life of the asset is about 18 years. Life of mine, waste ore stripping ratio is 2.7 to 1. Average grade just under 1 gram of gold per ton. And if you look upon the top right side, with some rough numbers, the projects we're going to be forecasting to create about $10 billion in economic activity and about $5 billion in wages, direct and indirect, throughout the life of the mine. So very important asset to the region for sure. A little bit about the local community. So if you look at the map on the inset, you'll see the project is located between just south of Timmins and north of Toronto, just halfway between Timmins and Sudbury. And these are the population centers where we want to source the majority of our operating employees. As I said earlier, we are located in a traditional territory, Matagami First Nation and Flying Post First Nation. And we do have IBAs with each community, as well as currently have a memorandum of understanding with the Métis Nation of Ontario. Also in the map, you can see our two closest neighbors, being Matagami First Nation, which is about 40 kilometers north of the site, and Gogama, which is about 20 kilometers away. And we do have very close relationships with both those communities. One of the key features of our community relations framework is our socioeconomic management and monitoring plans that we've established both with our IBA partners as well as the community of Gogama. And the importance of these plans is they're the foundation to record baseline data for various social and economic indicators in the community, provides a structure for those to be monitored over time. And so the idea is, together with the communities, we can observe trends, we can make adjustments as needed. But overall, our approach to the communities has been really about a strong focus on engagement, which is really about being part of the community and not really, only worried about pacifying objection. It's about genuine strategies. It's about participation and investment, just so we can ensure sustainable prosperity for these communities. Next slide. We'll give a brief summary now of how the construction's going. As you can see from the picture on the bottom, that's actually the very first blast in the pit, taken just a few weeks ago. So now, there's probably a little more leaves on the trees there. So a bit quick one on the timeline. So this is the construction timeline, very high level. The actuals on the actual piece, you could see that we expected major earthworks to start towards the end of the second quarter, and it's actually started ahead of schedule this year. So we're all very proud of that. In terms of the other milestones, we are tracking well on other milestones, but I think maybe what's more important for the people on this presentation is to see a few pictures of the progress at the site. So at the site, the big focus for us for this year is fish relocation and earthworks work in the pit area. So at the site, the work requires a significant amount of water course realignment, and you can see up the picture at the top left is the water realignment channel 1 bypass. So relocating fish, you can see at the bottom, and replacing the habitat removed by mining activities is really one of the big focuses for early construction at Côté, because as you know, or you may not know, Côté Lake is actually, the Côté deposit is actually located in part between a small lake. So, redirecting the water to create a new lake, relocating fish to other water bodies is a big part of the work. We started this work last summer. It will continue throughout the construction period this year. Another key milestone for 2021 is advancing the plant construction, which you can see on the bottom left. So most of the majority of work this year is earthworks, site prep phase, getting ready for construction. We're also on the top right, you can see we're finishing construction on the permanent camp. I think the name for the camp is going to be called Camp Eagle Lodge. And some of the thoughts, some of the work right now is thinking about how do we get some attractive features for the people that are staying there, for recreational purposes. So a lot of work still to do. We'll cover next is about our plans for the operation, when construction's done and when it's turned over to operations. And a big part of the plans for operation is autonomous mining and autonomous equipment. So The open pit mine will be serviced by a fleet of 23 CAT 793 autonomous trucks, as well as 6 Epiroc Pit Viper 231s. And a lot of talk related to autonomy is thinking about the mine of the future. And yeah, we like to think this could be the mine of the future, but really it's the mine of today. And the technology around autonomous mining may not be very common here in Ontario, but the technology is certainly deployed extensively throughout the world with very successful results. And on the bottom point, CAT, who we've engaged as our partner with the autonomous truck, is really a global leader in putting this technology together at similar operations. But we do believe that implementing advanced technology is instrumental in the long-term profitability of Côté. And we have a couple points here on the slide. You can see the impact of autonomous haulage and drilling on costs, which, if they don't look like big numbers on this slide, but if you spread that across the tonnages we will be mining, it's actually quite significant. And some of these cost savings are driven by the advantages we see to autonomous equipment is, higher equipment productivity, no shift changes, better, optimal positioning for truck shovel interactions, reduced maintenance because, the continuous operation and the operation within the standard parameters for these trucks is almost guaranteed. Reduced manpower requirements, but really resulting in ultimately a reduced camp size and accommodation costs. The autonomous fleet, here's a few slides showing what the operations center will look like. The machines will operate within autonomous haulage zones, and we're still working through what that looks like, but the idea is they're connected through communications infrastructure and in a constant communication with each other. Again, we have CAT at the table helping us work through this, as well as Epiroc for the drills. In total amount for autonomous haulage, CAT has moved over 2 billion tons at 8 sites worldwide, using this system. So we're very confident in the ability to make this work and to be of value to Côté. Sorry, I'm having trouble here. So we'll talk a bit about the processing plant. Sorry. There. Our process plant, the design is well advanced and orders for many long lead items have already been placed. One of the unique features of this plant design is our high pressure grinding rolling mill, which is, it's going to be the largest HPGR in Canada, but the technology certainly is not, sorry, I'm in trouble here. Technology is certainly not new, but it's just a little bit uncommon in Canada. But the hardness, the nature of the ore at Côté makes it well suited to this application. But some of the benefits of HPGR certainly are reduced energy consumption compared to traditional SAG ball mill configurations, and certainly lower maintenance. The plant itself is going to be highly automated and with an advanced comminution circuit that includes 2-stage grinding, which is, as you can see on here, we have a ball mill, but it's supported by two vertical mills. The vertical mill is another interesting thing, largest on the market, and certainly our proven technology and have been proven to be effective at several other sites. The gravity concentrators and leach carbon and pulp circuit, pretty standard, but they're essentially the workhorses in recovering the gold. The plant itself already designed to accommodate a future expansion. An addition of about 6 million tons per day, which will bring the site to a total of 42,000 tons per day. So the expansion total would increase production to about 64,000 ounces per year if implemented. The Gosselin zone. So while we're on the topic of expansion, we'll talk a little bit about this exploration project that's just north of the Côté pit. We call the Gosselin zone. So drilling to date, and we're currently drilling it, has returned some fairly wide intervals of mineralization, and it's hosted within some of the same type of altered and brecciated intrusions that the Côté project also, the Côté deposit also has. You can see some of the selected intersections here having been reported to the right. The target, exploration target is for about a 3 to 5 million ounce resource, grades ranging from 0.7 to 1.2 grams per ton of gold. Again, slide 2 had the cautionary language regarding some of these statements, so please be aware of that. But as you can imagine, we're actually quite excited about this deposit, and we're looking forward to having the initial maiden resource estimate on the Gosselin zone sometime in the second half of this year. So please do watch out for that disclosure. A few items about working at Côté and what could like in the future. But I'll talk a bit about the workforce we are seeking and our hiring timelines, as we have a significant amount of recruitment to do over the next 2 years. So we believe it's an opportunity to work differently. So at Côté, we believe in integrating people and technology in a unique way. And we want people to be interested in doing things differently. On this slide, there's a brief summary of the values and the associated behaviors we'd like to see. I won't run through them. You could read them as I'm talking. But we see ourselves as applying high operational standards for safety, for performance, for efficiency. And we really want to take an active role in shaping the future of mining. And we want the people we bring along to do the same. So we need people that are curious about mining technology, people that are, have the ability to learn on the job, people that can adapt. We believe, progress in mining is done through hard-fought learnings, earned through experience, and so we do need experienced people and good training programs so we can bring people along for the journey with us. But I'd like to note, a mining background is not always necessary. So, some of these roles require expertise from other industries, particularly when we look at things like data analytics and automation for the operation. For the mine of the future, we do need a different skill set as well. And in keeping with our IAMGOLD's principles of zero harm, most importantly, our team and the people we bring on, we want to be committed to the well-being of our colleagues and the communities we operate in. This is a greenfield project. We want people to be excited to be part of the opportunity. It's a very rare opportunity to get in at the ground level and influence what a mine becomes, both culturally and operationally. In terms of what to expect practically at Côté, we're still working on what our camp and recreational facilities will be beyond beyond the basics. We do know that at this stage, it'll be on rotation, 7-day rotation, likely starting on Tuesdays. And right now, the plan is to bus employees from Timmins and Sudbury. A little bit about the timeline. So once operational, as you can see on this slide, we expect to have about 450 full-time employees at the site. Our goal is to locally source as many of these employees as possible. And as this timeline shows right now, we're focused on hiring the leadership team and people supporting operational readiness. And later this year, we're hoping to ramp up hiring for mining mill operations. Early 22, we'll start posting some of these positions for mine mill operators, technicians, electricians, millwrights, and the like. We'll start bringing these people in phases starting in the second half of 2022. Go to the next slide. So for recruitment, as mentioned, the focus later this year is on leadership positions, key operating roles. But in the fall, we will start recruiting for supervisor, superintendent roles. I believe there is one in the job fair for their operations superintendent. Maintenance, training, technicians for the mill, various mining engineer roles and technicians. So please keep an eye out for those posting. They will be posted on the IAMGOLD website and when it's up and running and on LinkedIn. So we're working on the website right now. It'll be up and running shortly, and you'll be able to sign up for job alerts and see when things come up and see if you're interested in them. Lastly, we're going to talk about operations procurement. So I know there's a lot of interest on this topic, but we are still in the very early days of procurement for operations. And so we're still just starting to set up our procurement systems and procedures. So we'll start our tendering process for operations packages in Q4 this year. This will include establishing parts and maintenance and service contracts. There will be a pre-qual program process developed to allow companies an opportunity to express their interest. This will be established hopefully, latter of Q2, early in Q3. IAMGOLD is committed in maximizing participation of First Nation partners, and all suppliers and contractors will have to comply with our requirements of the IBA. But for those who wish to initiate some early contact, please email our procurement specialist, Jane. Her email address is there, and I believe it's probably available on our current site. So to close up, IAMGOLD's extremely excited about Côté. It's going to be the transformational project for the company. We have an energized team working hard to meet our targets and goals, and more importantly, looking at the work that needs to be accomplished. We need to do it while being leaders in ESG and still maintaining true to our goal of zero harm. So thank you all for your time today.
Mike, thank you so much. What a terrific presentation about just an exciting project, one that was several years in the making. As we all know, it was not a short term to get from here to where the company is today. And I remember it wasn't that long ago that I was delayed in getting down to that special groundbreaking ceremony that involved, the Premier of Ontario, the Minister of Mines, and of course somebody from Ottawa who happens to be the Prime Minister. And I remember racing down Highway 144 from Timmins to be there for that event. And wow, what a great thing for the entire region, including Flying Post First Nation, including the Matagami First Nation. And when you step back from all of this and you realize that the life of mine is significant, the impact on the region is going to be significant. And are you going to be able to find enough people? Because boy, it seems like everybody has got just a really cool project happening. How's that process coming? Are you finding the right people that you need right now?
Yeah, we've been fairly successful at, and albeit, the majority of the recruitment is to support the project. So our EPCM partner would, has had generally a good success at attracting people for the project. For the operations, we're really just starting out. As a note, this is week 4 for me, so I think they've done a fantastic job recruiting. How about that?
Yeah, you're the new kid on the block. You're there to.
But in all honesty, we have our work cut out for us, but we're confident we could attract the right people.
That's terrific. And, in terms of, you touched a little bit on the Gosselin property and so on and so forth. So do you get the sense that this entire project, it's really just kind of the tip of the iceberg, that I'll call it your spider sense, if you will, your geological spider sense, is that this project could be much bigger than, what's stated right now as the life of mine?
Well, I think, I'd have my opinion, but what I will say is having a processing facility in this region, right? It's kind of underexplored, underdeveloped in this part of the Abitibi. So I think having an actual operating facility will bring about a lot of opportunities we're not even aware of into the future. So, and we did discuss about Gosselin and looking at seeing what that does to the operation in the short-term future.
Well, I know in talking to a number of suppliers and people that have been part of the mining community, both here and in Sudbury, which is south of Timmins, by the way. I'm just teasing. But people in Sudbury, I'm great friends in Sudbury. that there's a lot of excitement about the company. So Mike, thank you for doing just a fantastic job of giving us a broad overview of what's happening with this very, very exciting project, which is awesome for the economy of Ontario. It's great for Canada, and it's more than great for the people of this region, especially the First Nations partners that you're directly connected with. So Mike, once again, thank you for being part of Mining the Abitibi, our virtual conference today, and we hope to have you back at our next one.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Folks, thank you so much for joining Mike's presentation. We're going to be